the aerial rebuild. Sounds like something you hear from build fighters or something. How's it going, guys? It is Plastic Disasta here, and today we are going to take a look at the HG Witch from Mercury, the Gundam Aerial Rebuild. This Gundam appeared in the last episode of Season 1 and the rest of Season 2. And what the Aerial Rebuild is pretty much an upgraded version of the Aerial Gundam. Taking a look at the box art, we see the Aerial Rebuild got its shield bits all over the gun and is ready to fire its big laser. Looking at this side of the box, we see the close-up shot of the kit, and we see it in its action poses and the shield bits flying around with its specific action-based stand. Here's what the kit would look like when it's unpainted. Moving on to this side of the box, we see the front and rear shot of the kit and the pilot herself, Siletta Mercury. After cracking open the box, we got 2 bags of runners and a manual. Looking at the cover of the manual, we see a familiar art, and checking inside the manual, parts list check, we're going to be using all of them. And moving on to the back of the box, we have the color guide, what it looks like in the anime, and more action poses, the gimmicks, and the rear shot of the kit. Starting off with runner A, we're going to have a multicolored runner. We have a big chunk of gray. We got a clear black piece, some red, and some green. Next up, we have runner B, more gray parts, and I got 2 parts that fell off the runner. Next up, we have runners C1 and C2. They are going to be the white parts. Runner D, we have the blue parts. Runner E is going to be the yellow parts, while you have runner F, that's going to be those pre-molded parts. Finally, you have blue beam saber effect parts and a sticker sheet. So that about wraps up the unboxing. Now, I have heard the HG Witch and Mercury line has been killing it so far, so I can't wait to put this kit together, and I'll show you guys how it looks, which I am going to do right now. Here is the aerial build all put together. Yeah, I know I put a water slide decal in it because I was working on the Marisol flight unit, and I had one too many water slides, so I just thought, I'll just slap on one over there just to give myself a head start. Anyways, the build of this kit, it's actually really beginner friendly, but the one that does frustrate me a bit would be like the chest area, because it's all about like the bouncing act, and then you have to throw some pieces on it so these pieces won't fall out. But if you keep your cool, the build is such a relative ease. I do advise you to be careful with this little peg right here when you're putting the beam saber on, because I feel like that peg is a little bit, well, I wouldn't say fragile, but just don't put it in a wrong angle, because I almost did, and I got lucky with this one. Doing a little seam line check, most of them are pretty well hidden, and if you want to get rid of some, there are some right here on the lower knee, and 2 of them in the back of the leg, one here and one over here, and one on the lower backpack, and I should really take care of my nub marks. Onto sticker placement, starting with this one. That should go underneath the clear black piece. Numbers 2 or 4, of course, they are the eyepiece, but you do have a clear plastic instead, so I went with that. 6 or 7, that goes on the back of the Gundam's head. Again, that is a green plastic, so there's no point of me putting on a sticker. 8 and 9, or 10 and 11, that should go onto the chest right here, but it should also go under the clear plastic piece. Number 12 should go underneath the chest. These stickers right here, they go onto the shoulder, 2 on each side. Moving on down to the legs, 15 or 16 and 17, they go onto the thighs underneath the clear black plastic, and number 14, they go onto the knees. For the shield, these big white stickers, they go onto this blue piece right over here on the edge. These 2 white stickers, they go onto the tip of the shield, just the gray parts, and the blue, green, and black sticker, they go right over here on this white part. And finally, moving on to the gun, these green sticker right here, it goes right in here, and the green rectangle stickers, there are 2 of them, one goes here and one goes on the other side, and same thing that goes for the extended barrel, which I'm holding it in the wrong way. One right here and one right here, which is the reason why they gave you 4. Hey guys, editing Plastic Disasta here. Forgot to tell you is that Number 18 stickers, they go onto the tip of the gun right over here. So basically is that you have to apply the sticker first, fold it, and then sandwich the pieces together. So you have like one going on each side. Again, that goes for the short barrel and the longer barrel. But that about wraps up the out of box presentation, and I have to admit it does look pretty nice even if you just do a straight build. I forgot to point out that you do have some really nice surface details, and paneling on this kit will do it justice. I'm going to be working on this kit and I'll see you guys right after. And after, with a little bit of effort, here is what the aerial rebuild looks like, and it doesn't take a lot of work. And what I forgot to mention in my previous aerial review is that I recommend using masking tape to cover the clear black pieces, because if you spray flat matte top coat on it, it's not gonna look well. And that's one of the mistakes I made on the forehead of the regular aerial. Moving on with accessories. Starting out, we have its big beefy beam rifle. I really love the design on this. And you have these two pieces, which, spoiler alert, you do have to do parts forming. You have to like take these pieces out and swap it out for these pieces, which makes it look like the other two handles are popping out. I'll explain later on in the video. And another one that you have to parts form is you have to swap out the longer barrel for the shorter one. And again, I'll show you later. To store the beam rifle, all you gotta do is just plug it right here onto the backpack. It does get a little back heavy. That's because I had to make the aerial rebuild just lean forward just a little bit. And of course, saving the best accessory for last, the shield. And like the previous aerial, it can split up into 11 different pieces. And of course, you plug in the tab onto the side of the arm. So let's break this shield down and I can show you what you can do with them. And just like the previous aerial, you don't need this. Now, if you want all of these 11 shield bits flying around, you have to get one of those specific action-based stands that's for the HG Witch and Mercury sets. Unfortunately, I do not have that, and the manual shows that you can split the white and the gray piece to have them flying around. So for this review, I'm gonna have to combine these two back together. But let's start off to making the big gun. So let's get the beam rifle and the three pieces I mentioned. And it should look something like this. Again, just swap out some pieces and fold this part out. So let's bring in the shield bits. And after following the steps in the manual, this is how it should look. And I forgot to mention, you have to take off the beam rifle camera in order to attach this piece. Once you put it on the aerial, it's ready to fire its big laser. Next up, we're gonna put the shield bits on the aerial rebuild. It's going to be just like the regular aerial, however there is going to be a difference. And this is how it's going to look with the shield bits attached. And to show you that difference, I point out like a while ago, or a couple of seconds ago, it's going to be on the back skirt. So let's bring in the regular aerial. So the difference is that the way how the shield bits is attached. And I forgot how back heavy it is with the new backpack. Anyways, what I'm trying to say is that the aerial rebuild is handled a little bit better because now you have more leg movement when you're trying to move it back. And speaking of movement, let's move on to articulation. But before I do that, you do have beam saber effect parts, and the beam saber handles are attached onto the backpack. For articulation, the head is on a double ball joint. For shoulder, it is on a ball joint. It does have some forward movement. The shoulder armor can move up, which allows the arm can move up this high. You do have bicep swivel, single joint on the elbow, which gives you more than 90 degrees, and a ball joint on the wrist. And moving on to the torso, there is a ball joint like inside the chest, which allows for an ab crunch and move side to side ever so slightly, and a swivel. The front skirt can move out this high, the side skirt can move out this far up, and there is no back skirt, so the leg can kick up this high, can move back this far, and as for the splits, it can do a little more than that. You get a double bend on the knee, limited thigh swivel due to the design, and moving down onto the foot, you do have a ball joint on the ankle armor, but it's not gonna move a lot. The foot can move, well, it is on a C-clip, just to let you know. So anyways, the foot can move up this, and it pops out too easily. Let's try it again. It can move up this far and can move back this far. And the toe, it is on a ball joint. It can go up this far, can move down, and it does have a little bit of a pivot, and moving on to the heel, it can rotate as well. Well, a little too crazy if you ask me. So moving on to the backpack, this part can rotate. It can go down and up, and it can rotate up here. And in case you haven't noticed, these yellow bits can fold out, and moving on down, this thing right here just rotates. Overall, the articulation on this kit is actually really good. It's actually pretty similar to the regular aerial. Moving on to size comparisons, here it is right next to the standard size RX-78-2 Gundam, and as you can see, the regular Gundam is a little shorter than the aerial rebuild. And bringing in the regular aerial one last time, as you can see, they're both the same height. And finally, here it is right next to Prime and Godzilla. So that's going to be it for the size comparisons. Let's move on to my final thoughts. So moving on to my final thoughts, overall I am pretty pleased with this kit. I think both beginners and experienced builders are going to have a field day with this one. But one flaw with this kit, that the stickers can be a little tedious. So if you're a beginner, if you want to learn how to detail paint, this will be a good start for you. And other than that, I don't think I have anything else to say. I liked it just as much as the regular aerial Gundam. So that's going to be it for review. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys are new here, be sure to subscribe if you want to see more content like this. And don't forget to leave a comment and like as well. And I'll see you guys in the next video. For this bonus segment, let's say that it irritates you that this kit does not come with open palm hands. Yes, it does irritate me a little bit as well. Now, if you guys see my HG Wish from Mercury, the Mirasol Flight unit, it comes with 2 open palm hands for the aerial Gundam. However, if you look closely, you notice that these 2 hands have the same back hand cover, which means you can easily swap them out and at the same time question Bandai's marketing methods.